Good morning, everyone. It's Dr. Arlene Dijamco, the MultiDimensional MD. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. Let me know where you're from. I would love to hear from you. Today, I'm going to talk about skin congestion. But before I get started, just a quick announcement. Later today, I'm going to be going on Facebook Live with Corinne Casey to talk about our new parenting podcast, Creating Calm, Parenting with Mind, Body, and Spirit. And we're doing this with Edgar Casey's ARE, Association for Research and Enlightenment. We just started, and the first week it's had almost 500 downloads. So we're really excited. And we would love for you to join us, to meet us together and to interact with us, ask us questions, comment. So head over to Facebook, Edgar Casey's ARE, or to my Facebook page, All World's Health and Pediatrics, and I'll share it there when we start. So today I'm going to talk about skin congestion because, well, the skin is one of your biggest organs. It's got a huge surface area, and it's one of your main lines of protection to the world. So when your skin gets congested, the pathways to and from the skin, the flow is not what it needs to be. It's stuck somehow. There's some sort of obstruction. The pathways aren't draining. The nourishment is not coming in. And so something's out of balance. So when that happens, there's a tendency for there to be irritation in the skin, redness to the skin, all kinds of rashes, whether acne, eczema, psoriasis, or other kinds of skin irritation. There can be swelling and just irritated blocked pores. So I'm going to go through the physical, then the mental, emotional, and then the spiritual aspects of skin congestion, because as always, we're going to go through this in a multi-dimensional way. So the first thing is the physical, and to understand the skin in relationship to all the other organ systems. So everything in the body is related. Nothing is in isolation, but I will go through some key organ systems and just help you with your understanding, because the more you understand, then the easier it is for you to know how to approach your health and the health of your skin. So when we talk about drainage pathways being blocked, so a lot of that is going to be your lymph system. So the lymph helps to drain inflammation. And when things are blocked, then you're going to get swelling and redness, and those blocked pores or just redness to the skin, dry skin or irritated skin. So we want to help support those lymph drainage pathways. And you can do that by just getting some movement in your day. So getting some regular exercise. There's all sorts of ways to support the lymph system. And I teach a lymph drainage class. But a simple way is just to make sure you get some movement and exercise in your day. The lymph loves to have like some small vibrational movement. So even if you were to just bounce or use those small little rebounders or just going for a walk, that's going to help to support and move your lymph system. The skin is also a secondary detox organ to the liver. So the liver is a major detox organ, but if the liver gets overwhelmed, then things are going to back up to your skin, and you're going to see some sort of skin congestion. So anything that helps to support the liver can also help support the skin. So I did a whole other podcast on liver congestion, so you can take a look at that. But you also consider, so the liver related to your gut as well. So we think about things like, are you constipated? Are things like moving and flowing in your gut, or are they backing up, then backing up to the liver, and then the liver getting overwhelmed, and then backing up to the skin? So you can also just think about the balance in your gut, and that gut flora balance, your inner soil. So we have like our inner soil, and actually our skin has like this outer microflora too. So when things get out of balance in terms of our body's flora, then you can see that show up not only internally with like other kinds of symptoms, but also externally in the skin with the redness, maybe more yeast-like infections if you have an overgrowth of yeast or candida in your body. And sometimes you'll see that it's often related to like eczema, other kinds of like skin inflammation, congestion, but the yeast infections can also appear like as athlete's foot, or those fungal infections, or in the creases of your skin, in the folds under your arms, and behind your knees, in your buttocks area. So, redness, irritation there, just think of balancing your gut flora. And I will go through just some foods, herb supplements of helping to do that as well. So another major organ that is helpful for your skin are the adrenals. And when we are stressed out, the skin is also going to feel that as well. So adrenals help produce stress hormones. And so the more stressed you are, then the adrenals can start to overproduce cortisol, but then it can also start to get tired. And then that's when you're going to get adrenal fatigue. And your adrenals are basically producing your body's own steroids. So these are anti-inflammatory actions. So when your adrenals start to get tired because you've been stressed for so long, then you may not be able to balance that inflammation in your body. So we have inflammation for a reason, to help take care of infection and to help to clear things. But if the drainage pathways are not open, or if the inflammation gets out of control, then that's when you're going to see an imbalance. So addressing those adrenals, and again, I did another podcast on adrenal fatigue, so you can take a look there. Related to the adrenals, also going to be that nervous system. So the adrenal medulla helps to produce this adrenaline-like hormones and neurotransmitters in the body. So relaxing, calming activities, not so much like go, 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 can help with that. And also like reducing the amount of stimulants that you're taking in terms of like food, like caffeine and chocolate, because if your adrenals and your nervous system are already really revved up, then it's going to push that gas pedal harder when you're already running low on gas. So next, I want to talk a little bit about the hygiene hypothesis and the immune system. So the hygiene hypothesis was something that came out in around the late 1980s, 1989. And what it says is that the exposure in childhood to a wider variety of microbes or bacteria and other organisms helps to strengthen the immune system. So they found that people that grew up in farms or more out in the environment, out in nature, were less likely to have allergic tendencies. And a lot of skin issues have that kind of allergic component. So that's why I wanted to bring that up in terms of that immune system balance. So when it's not about being overexposed to harmful bacteria or harmful microbes, but it's more about being out in nature and being exposed to a natural balance of microorganisms. And the hygiene hypothesis sometimes gets misunderstood because, like anything, people tend to like really polarize things and make it more black and white, and it really isn't. So it's not about being exposed to like lots of bacteria or things that could hurt you. And it's not about being in a completely sterile environment. It's really relevant right now because of the pandemic and how much that we are just sanitizing, and we need to address the pandemic and COVID, but at the same time realizing the balance of things, that we still also need to be able to get out in nature and to have that normal interaction within our environment. Because when you have that in childhood, the immune systems of kids are still maturing. So they need to exercise being able to determine like which things are harmful and need to be fought off by the body, and which things are okay, so that you're not getting this overreaction or over response and getting these allergic types of symptoms. So if we keep going, and I know I'm talking quickly here, but there's some things to go through. In terms of like foods, herbals, supplements, and topicals, food-wise, it is really, we're talking about balancing that gut flora and the flora of the body. So you do want to get some kind of probiotic foods in your just your regular daily diet. So that could be something simple, like a splash of apple cider vinegar, like Bragg's apple cider vinegar with the mother culture there, and that helps you in so many different ways. Even just a tablespoon in some warm water in the morning, you could just put a splash of lemon in there as well, can be helpful. But it's not just about the probiotics in the diet, it's also about getting prebiotics or healthy foods to help nourish your skin, to help nourish the more friendly flora in the body. And you can do that by eating about 80% alkaline diet. So you can see my other podcasts. I know I keep throwing the other podcasts in there, but there's so much more information that I don't want to repeat it here, but to show you where you can get more information on that. So 80% alkaline diet, and that can really help to nourish your skin. So some herbs that I love to help support the skin would be chamomile. Just has nice antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal properties, but it's also very gentle, so healing for the gut. And it's also a nervine, meaning it helps to calm your nerves, helps to balance the nervous system. Calendula, another herb flower, and it's so great for like just helping gently move the lymph system, get things flowing. And nettle, stinging nettle, which you can find in the wild, but you can also get it as a tea. And a lot of my patients from other countries are so familiar with nettle. They're like, oh, that's a weed, that's grows everywhere. It's so nutritious. It's kind of like spinach when you cook it. I don't see it so much in the grocery stores or farmers market, but when you do find patches, there can be a lot of it. But you can get nettle tea. It has so many minerals and good things for your skin. So to really nourish your skin. So it's not just detoxing, but also the nourishment. If we look at supplements, then getting some vitamin C to help with your skin, collagen, or you could do bone broth, maybe NAC, N-acetylcysteine, and that helps your glutathione, and this major antioxidant in your body helps your liver to help to detox things. If we look at topicals, then one just a simple way to help to detox your skin topically is to use a simple clay mask. So you could get some bentonite clay. Sometimes it's blended with other things like activated charcoal. Mix that up 1 to 1 with water if you have the powder, and leave it on till it dries up and wash it off. That can be a great thing to do periodically, even once a week or however often you need to. For in terms of moisturizing the skin topically, well, it's great also to do it internally to get those good omega-3s in your body. But if you do want to do it topically, then a great one is apricot seed oil, because it has a good kind of balance in terms. It's a very light oil, and you can place it on your face. It's non-comedogenic, meaning it won't help promote acne. So now we're moving on to the mental emotional aspects to skin issues. And this is really interesting. So anytime you have any symptoms, and I like to tell people just to take it metaphorically as well. So what is it like with your skin? Like, how do you not necessarily feel comfortable in your own skin, and see how you can address that? And a lot of times it just takes a step. Sometimes you have to kind of face your fears and take steps to do what you desire in life, and so to grow into your skin that you can feel more comfortable. This can be difficult, like if you have a more perfectionistic view or mindset where you feel like everything has to be just right, or you're not going to be okay. And it's that fear of failure is another way to describe perfectionism. So remember, the more you understand about yourself, the more you can address what is going on with you. And so when I bring these mental emotional aspects up, it's not to get down about it, it's to really know yourself. And then you can take steps to help yourself. So getting more comfortable in your own skin, just letting go of that fear of failure or that perfectionistic qualities. Now, remember, the skin is also related to your liver. So The liver, mental, emotionally, can carry anger and frustration. So if it gets overwhelmed, then it can pop up in terms of skin issues. So that may or may not be an aspect for you, but to consider that and to dig deep and really be honest with yourself. Is there anything that I'm still carrying on to, or are there any hard feelings I haven't processed? And to give yourself some time and space to do so, whether you need to journal or see a counselor or incorporate other modalities like EFT, emotional freedom technique, EMDR, or cranial osteopathy. I would love to help you with those mental emotional aspects. It's one of the things I love to do in terms of helping people balance their health. Another aspect of this with skin, especially with allergic issues, is not feeling safe in your environment. And we're meant to feel okay and safe in nature. So if something about our environment doesn't feel safe for us, or and safe, it has such a broad meaning. So it could be safe in any way, whether physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. So for some reason you don't feel comfortable, then that can also show up in your skin. So that move into the spiritual aspects. And I wanted to leave you with this one mantra that I had told several people in the last week. And so, as always, if I see that I'm repeating things or telling people things over and over again in a week, then I want to share that with you here, because I know that it's a trend in the world. It's a pattern that's being played out right now. And I feel that so many people could benefit from it. So, from that spiritual, energetic aspect, you can say to yourself, I am at peace with myself and my environment. I am at peace with myself and my environment. I am at peace with myself and my environment. And see, you repeat that mantra, see if you can feel it starting from your heart center and then just emanating outwards into all the cells of your body, into your energy field, letting that heart field really expand with that phrase. And that can change so much. So we've gone through a lot of details in terms of physical, then the mental, emotional, but to not forget this spiritual and energetic aspect of our being, of our human being, because your soul knows your truth. And it's once you align that spiritual understanding of your soul with your mind and your body, then that is when more healing can occur, especially with more ease. And when you really feel that in every layer of your being, mind, body, spirit, what's going to happen is that the world is going to meet that light and love within you. And that's how things will shift for you. That it's from the inside out. So from your soul, from spirit, self, and letting that phrase, I am at peace with myself and my environment, emanate out in all directions. And then the world will come and meet you, because we help to create the energy and the vibe in our environment. So it's inside out, and then you're going to see it outside in as well, reflected back to you. So I hope that helps you in some way. If you have any questions, of course, skin is a big topic, and there are so many different aspects that we could talk about, so many details. So if there is anything that you are just really wanting to have a desire to know about, and want to flesh it out a little bit more, please let me know, leave a comment, and I would be happy to share more with you. And as always, this is informational only, not for diagnosis and treatment. If you would like that, then come see me in an appointment in my office or another qualified healthcare practitioner. And thank you so much for being here with me today. Lots of love to all of you. Have a beautiful rest of your week, and I will see you next week, Wednesday EST. And don't forget, if you'd like to join me for a Facebook Live later today, 1 p.m. with Corinne Casey, to talk about creating calm parenting with mind, body, and spirit.